Hello everyone. This year with FACEROBICS we're going to start from exercise along with me series 1 exercises and then work through all of the exercises throughout the year. And all of the exercises, every 2 months the series will change and I'll be giving you updates to the existing exercises. Now I'm doing this because I didn't want to add another series this year because we really do have a lot of exercises that everybody needs to master before we move on to another series. And doing the different series, it really does make a difference because what is happening is you're doing one set of exercises and you're doing them in varying repetition levels. And then when you finish that series and you start a new one, it changes up everything in your muscles and it gives your muscles a chance to start changing things around so that they won't plateau. And plateauing is the biggest problem with people exercising because people just do exactly the same exercise all the time. And that does not work. That does not work on your face. You have to change the exercises to get the effect and to get the muscles strengthened and lifted. You also have to do a full face routine, and there's no point just doing one exercise because that is just not going to work because all of the muscles are interconnected. So you will be exercising one set of muscles while the other muscles are not being exercised. So you will either compact them together or make them fatigue and sag. So this is the reason why we do a full face routine. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting timestamps on the videos now. And what that is when you look at the video and you look at the little video play bar, there's little yellow dots on there. And that gives you a timestamp. So you go to the description box and there'll be all these little timestamps as to where you can click to so you can get straight to the exercise. Because what happens is that you need to sometimes watch them over and over, and I would rather that you just click on the timestamp and it take you straight to the start of the exercise, and then you'll be able to learn a lot faster. Okay, so the first exercise in series 1 is the extreme forehead lifter. This is an amazing exercise because what this does is it exercises the scalp and the back of the head. Now when you exercise the scalp, what happens is it becomes very firm and very strong and it lifts back your forehead. And that is what you want because you want it lifted from the top. And as I was saying, all the muscles are interconnected. So when you're exercising this area or the back of your scalp, it lifts up the forehead because the muscles are connected. And as these tighten, it's going to pull it back. It's the same with every part of your face. So this is what happens here. It pulls back the forehead and it gives a lovely smooth effect on the forehead. Now even though you have expression lines and you can still lift your forehead and have those lines, all they are expression lines. Okay, so if your face is at rest with no wrinkles, that's the effect you want to get. So in the past we've used 2 fingers. But as I've gone through all the series and gone through all the exercises myself, and as I do them, I change them slightly, and then with those changes, I bring them to you. And this is the good thing about it, is because I'm actually doing it as well. It's not like I'm sitting here going, oh, well, you guys got to do this, and you guys got to go do that, and then I go have a facelift or something. It's nothing like that. I'm actually doing the exercises with you every day. I go through all the series, I run through the whole program myself. So this is why I know that there's so many different changes that can happen with each individual exercise. So with this exercise now, I would ask that you use 3 fingers. So you can see the way that my fingers are configured, okay? The other thing is that tuck your finger, have your fingers in that configuration. The other thing is just lay your fingers all the way along the forehead. Now when you do this exercise, make sure that you're using the press and plant technique. The press and plant technique is in the information bar that's just popped up now at the top right hand corner of the screen. And you can watch that later. So using the press and plant technique, press firmly, drop your shoulders, and that's a really important thing, is to drop your shoulders. Then lift your brow. Now as you do this, what you want to do and have the feeling is your forehead is crunching together, and in doing so, this little muscle up here, this muscle up in this area, starts to move, and then the muscle at the back, the occipitalis, that will start to move. Look carefully at the placement of my fingers. Now, looking here, you can see that my finger is all the way along my hairline. Okay, and I'm pressing very, very firmly as I do that. I'm pressing firmly with my middle finger and I'm pressing firmly with my ring finger. Lift. And the only thing that you should feel moving is a little bit in here, just above your brow, and you should start to feel ever so slightly and subtly your scalp moving. And that's the effect that you want to get. Okay, so we'll do it one more time. Watching very carefully where I'm placing my fingers and how I'm placing my fingers. Pressing firmly, drop your shoulders, and then lift. It's a very effective exercise, and I ask that you go back and watch this again and again to get the technique correct. Because once you have your technique correct, then you'll be able to be much more successful with your exercises. The technique used in this exercise is the press and plant technique. And you will learn how much pressure to put on your forehead to stop the frontalis from moving, the whole thing from moving up and down, because we don't want that to happen. The only place that's moving up and down is just here, and also your scalp, and activating the occipitalis. If you're confused about this, please make a comment in the comment box below and I will do my best to answer it. But try to watch the video, and that's what you need to do. You need to watch the video over and over. Go back, watch it again, and be absolutely sure on how I am doing the exercise. The other thing you need to remember with the exercises when you're lifting your arms up like this, that you need to drop your shoulders. Okay, because we tend to hunch up and hunch over, and I do it myself. That's no doubt about that. I do it too. So drop your shoulders and be in a comfortable position when you are doing this exercise. Okay, I hope that's helped. So you should be, if you've started series 1, this will really help you. And as I said, I'll be doing series 1 for 8 weeks, for 2 months, so that I can give you some updates to help you really, really push into these exercises and really start getting some success. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because if you don't subscribe, you're going to miss out on all these updates, and then you'll be more confused about other updates that I do. So do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you like the video, give me a like, because that really helps me in the ranks of YouTube. I'd really appreciate that. All right, guys, you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello everyone, it's Peter from FACEROBICS. Today we're going to be talking about the 3-part eye exercise in Exercise Along With Me Series 1. This exercise is the first eye exercise in all the series. And the reason why I chose it to be done this way is for you to get used to using your eye muscles. When you first start facial exercises, it's really difficult to isolate and understand how to get those muscles moving. So this is the reason why I did it this way. When you're doing this exercise, I'll just grab Dorian and I'll show you the muscles that you're using. Also, have a look at the schematic. It is in the description box below, so you can download it to know what muscles you'll be using. So with this exercise, you are not using the orbicularis oculi. This orbicularis oculi is a very strong muscle, and it enables you to move your eyes and scrunch up your eyes. Also, it's attached to the frontalis, and it's attached to a lot of these muscles here that are connected to your lip. So this muscle helps lift the corners of your lips to help you smile. But today we're not going to be using this muscle. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our eyelids and the muscles around our eyelids on the inside. So with this exercise, all we're going to be doing is opening and closing the eyes. So before we do the placement, I'll show you how to open and close the eyes. So when you do this exercise, you just open and close, and you squeeze ever so gently. And you might hear a slight vibration in your ear. And you can also see that I'm not squeezing like this. I'm not doing any of this. All I'm doing is opening and closing my eyes, and I'm squeezing my eyelids. And my eyelids are flat. So when I squeeze them, my eyelids, the corners don't squeeze up, they just stay flat. And it's just a gentle squeeze of the eyelids. So get used to doing that first. The next thing is placing your hands to isolate the orbicularis oculi. Hand placement, finger placement is really important and central to face aerobics exercises because you use your fingers to isolate the muscles, to hold them back and to stop them from creating wrinkles as you're doing the repetitions. So with this exercise, you use the knuckles of your hands and you tuck them comfortably into the eye socket. Now, part of the finger is covering this part of the eye socket right in the corner here. So part of this finger here is covering the eye socket. So you can see my fingers are going upwards. So that is the direction that your fingers need to be in when you do this placement. So first off is into the eye socket, then curl your forefingers around your brow and then press firmly. And what you should be feeling is the skin and the muscles should be pulling back into your eye sockets a little bit. Now don't press so firmly that you give yourself a headache or that you're making massive red marks all over your face. Press firmly where it's comfortable enough to hold back the skin and muscles from moving as you do the exercise. Also, place your fingers just on this part of the brow. So you can see how it's just right on the very, very top of the brow. It's not over the top. They're not back here. They're not back here. And you'd be surprised when I say to people, place your fingers over your brow, people put them here. So we're putting them over our brow and we're placing our fingers over the line of the top of our eye. So this being a three-part exercise, what you need to do in the first part is look straight ahead. And you do the first part 50 times. So do it with me. Close your eyes and open them. And as you close and open them, all you should be feeling is a very, very gentle pulling. Just very gentle pulling. Not strong pulling of that area, not stretching of that area, just a very gentle pulling when you close your eyes. You can see I'm not going like this. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just opening and closing my eyes, and when I close them, I squeeze them a little bit. That's all it is. When you do the second part of this exercise, again, your hands are still in position. All you do is look up. Now, did you see that movement? I didn't go like this. I didn't go like this. All I did was look up. And all you do is look up at a 45-degree angle. And then close your eyes again. This time you should be feeling more of your bottom eyelids moving upwards slightly. As opposed to what it was like when you were looking forward. It was the top eyelid. When you look up, it's the bottom eyelid that you're feeling more. So the next part of that exercise, when you finish 50 repetitions, look down at a 45-degree angle. And again, open and close and gently squeezing. Making sure that you are looking down at 45 degrees and no more, not on a strong angle. Because if you look down at more of a 45-degree angle, you will cause stretching of this part of your eyelid and it can cause damage. So you need to make sure that you're just looking 45 degrees. And don't squeeze your eyelids too hard. You can see how I'm doing it. The next part of this exercise is to look forward again, is to look straight ahead and close your eyelids and squeeze gently for 20 seconds. And if you hear a bit of a vibration in your ear, that's fine. Now you can see I'm not doing this. I'm not squeezing my eyes in this exercise at all. When you're doing a 3-part exercise in any of the Exercise Along With Me series, you only do 50 repetitions. You don't go to the next level and do 100 repetitions of each. You don't go to the 3rd level and do 150 repetitions of each. You only do 50 throughout all the levels. So if there's a 3-part exercise and I say do 50, look straight ahead, 50 up and 50 down, that means all through the levels. Okay? Don't try doing any more than that, because all we're doing is getting our eyes used to moving. It's really interesting because you'll be very surprised on how much we don't actually move our eyes. And when we actually start moving our eyes, what happens is it starts exercising them and making them stronger. It's a very good exercise for a beginner, so that's why it is in the first series. And I ask also that if you do get a bit confused about what I'm doing, go back to the video, come back to the video here and watch it again. And be very specific about where I'm placing my fingers and what I'm doing with my eyes. Be very specific about it. Now some people will tell me that their eyebrows are too low, or they're too high, or their hands are too small. Your features are in proportion with your hands. So if you've got small hands, you'll have small features, you'll have a smallish face, and your hands will fit. If you find that your fingers are a bit short, just try to move it comfortably into position and do the best you can with it. That's all you need to do. It's very, very easy to actually adjust your hands and your fingers to the exercises. Now guys, please do remember to like the video. When you like the video, it helps me in the ranks of YouTube, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you will get all these updates. Especially if you want to learn facial exercises, you really do need to subscribe, hit the bell, and the bell will give you those notifications when I've uploaded. Because if you miss videos, then you start missing the exercises, you miss the updates, and then you get confused. You actually have to watch the videos to get the information. All right, well, you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing the update to the upper cheek exercise in the Exercise Along With Me Series 1 routine. Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming by. Today I want to talk to you about the upper cheek exercise and give you an update with this exercise to help you with your facial exercises to be much more successful. So with this exercise, the really important thing is to put your mouth in an O-shaped position and make this area taut. Now what I mean by taut is tight, okay? Let's give that a go. That's the action that you need to do underneath the placement of your hands. So let's try it once more. So what you're doing is pulling up the zygomaticus muscles. Here is a schematic of what the zygomaticus muscles look like. These are your cheek muscles, and these cheek muscles activate the moving upwards. They allow you to move your cheeks upwards. So when you go ahead and place your mouth in that O shape and lift, it's putting resistance on those two muscles. They are attached to the orbicularis oris, which is a very large muscle that sits superficially, which means it sits on top of all the other muscles that are attached to it, and there are quite a few. But today all we're working with are the cheek muscles. So let's give this a go with the hand placement. With the hand placement, you place your forefingers on your crow's feet, you place your middle fingers on the bottom of this eye socket, and you place your knuckles, your thumb knuckles, right up into the corners of your lips. When you go to lift it, you make that O shape, making your cheeks taut, and you lift. This exercise utilizes the lift and squeeze technique. Here is the lift and squeeze technique. Go ahead and watch it because I developed it so that you could have much better understanding of how to lift the muscles and then how to squeeze them. Now watch that after this video because it will give you a really deep understanding of this actual exercise. So when you're lifting and squeezing, in this cheek exercise, all of the energy is going out. Energy is a really important thing when you're doing your facial exercises, and you can master the movement of the energy. And you do that by utilizing the lift and squeeze technique and focusing the energy going in a certain pattern. So in this pattern, it goes up and out. The other really important thing about this exercise that will help you tone more this area is when you are actually lifting and squeezing, you then take your focus right to the top of your zygomaticus muscle and you squeeze it. And there are areas here that you can squeeze as well. So taking the energy up and out and then finishing off with a big squeeze at the top. Let's see if you can try it. Again, mouth in an O-shaped position, making your cheeks taut, placing your fingers onto your face in the configuration, and then lifting and squeezing. Now try that again with me. Lifting and squeezing and then finishing off with a squeeze here. It's like another 1 or 2 seconds after you do the exercise, the actual lift. So let's try it. See if you can see me doing it. So I'm pushing out the energy and I'm squeezing it up here just for another second or so, and then I'm starting again. Now the thing that you don't do with this exercise, let's talk about that, the don'ts. The don'ts are, don't lift the muscles on the side of your nose. Don't do the exercise with those. It turns into a completely different exercise because you're actually lifting the wrong muscles. You need to lift the zygomaticus muscles. Now, this exercise is what helps my cheeks have this lovely sweep back on them. I'm really proud of the way that they look. So this has helped me sweep back my cheeks and have a lovely strengthened cheek up here so that nothing is drooping. Now when you have the muscle strengthened in this area and it's all strong, what happens is it lifts the nasolabial folds. And when the nasolabial folds are lifted, you don't have any drooping and those awful lines that start to be created between your nose and your lips. So concentrate on using the zygomaticus muscles and not the levator muscles. That's the first thing. The next thing is be aware of how much effort you're putting into it. If you're a beginner with facial exercises and you're finding it difficult to move the muscles, just do it gently. Don't be going at it like a bull at a gate to try to get your muscles going. Facial exercises is a gradual change. And if you try to do everything all at once, you will cause fatiguing and your muscles will not respond. So if you are a beginner, just do the exercise gently. So if you're a beginner, just start gently with all the exercises. Do that for yourself because as you start to get your muscles moving and growing, they will want to be worked a little bit harder and stronger anyway. So start gently. If you have been doing exercises for a while or facial exercises for a while, go ahead and put as much effort as you feel that your muscles will take. Now remembering that you don't go overboard with it. Don't do it so much where your muscles will ache so badly. Don't press so hard that you are causing bruises. Please exercise some common sense here. Go as far as you feel that you can without causing any damage to yourself because people do it. People literally do that. So use your common sense when you're doing the exercises. The other thing to remember, of course, what I alluded to before, was it does take time. So you have to be patient with this exercise. It's a beautiful exercise, and when you actually get the hang of it and get into doing it, it absolutely sweeps up your cheeks and it lifts them, and it makes your face look very, very lifted. It's really a fantastic exercise and I love it. So the next thing that you work on with this exercise is your focus. So all your focus is up in drawing up the muscle to the end of it and squeezing to the end. Because other muscles are involved, like the platysma, what will happen is you'll tend to use a lot of these muscles too. But what I want you to do is really focus on the energy in this area. Don't worry about focusing down here, and if you are using that, try to work ways of pushing the energy more up here rather than using this area. Focus is a very important thing in these exercises, and it is key to the exercises. Concentration and focus in what you are doing. So please do make a comment in the comment box below if you want to ask a question. I would really appreciate that, because then I can answer your questions, because you know I do answer most of everybody's questions, well, as many as I can. And do feel free to place that comment in the box if you need to. Also remember to subscribe to the channel, because when you subscribe you get all the updates, and as you know I'm going right through all the updates all year through the whole series this year, so you don't want to miss them. So go ahead and subscribe. When you do, click the bell, and the bell will give you a notification every time that I upload. You'll get an email or a notification of sorts. Also, please remember to like the videos. When you like the video, it really helps me in the ranks of YouTube, so please do give me a like. Okay guys, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed that. You have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the nose exercise in Exercise Along With Me Series 1. Now this is a really good exercise to shape your nose. There is a timestamp below in the description box. If you do not want to hear this part of the video, just click on that little timestamp and it will take you to the exercise. But it is worth listening to, because you do need to know the fundamentals behind exercising, and especially exercising your nose. So it's down there, click on it, it'll take you to the exercise, that's fine. For those who do care to listen, doing a nose exercise is really important, because what it does is it shapes your nose back to its original shape. Now if you've got a long nose, it's not going to make your nose shorter. If you've got a short nose, it's not going to make your nose longer. What it does, like all of the exercises, is it adapts to the natural shape of your skeletal features, and then it just reshapes back to what you were when you were younger. That is the miraculous thing about exercises, and why people look so great when they do facial exercise, because their skin's not pulled up, their skin's not so tight they can't move it. They're looking natural, they're looking younger, and they're looking more vibrant and fresh. Now with the nose exercise, you cannot just exercise your nose. So many people contact me and say, well, I really like the shape of my nose. Can I just leave that out and do the rest of it? Well, the answer is no, because if you leave your nose out, you won't like the shape of your nose, because what it will do is make your nose sag, and it will make your skin more wrinkly. Because if you are exercising everything else bar your nose, these muscles on the side of your nose don't have the chance to lift, and they will be pushing and pulling against the rest of the muscles. So you have to exercise your nose. You have to be doing a full face routine. And whatever exercises I have in the routines, just do them. Don't worry about it if your nose is great, or if you don't like your nose, or whatever. Just do them. Because if you leave some out, you are going to run into trouble. You need to be doing the exercises that are in the routines, and you cannot be changing them, especially your nose, because your nose will become misshapen. So if you're going to start facial exercises and you like the shape of your nose, exercise your nose, because if you don't, it will start to sag. Again, the reason why is the muscles are lifting. These muscles that lift the nose are pushing up against the muscles that are lifting, so there is a push-pull action happening and your nose will start to sag. The exercise. So when we do this exercise, we place our finger on the tip of our nose. We don't push it up like this. We do none of that. All we're doing is placing it on the tip. So you can see that there's no pushing up, and we don't push up because what happens is it can crease this area on the top of our nose. So we just place our finger gently on the tip of our nose. So when I say the tip of our nose, I don't say here, I'm not saying here, I'm not saying here, I'm saying the tip. So everybody do that with me. Place your finger gently on the tip of your nose. Then with your other fingers, hold the bridge of your nose where that wrinkle could form. So you hold right on the bridge of your nose there and just hold it gently, and then you start to push your muscles down. Now, as you can see, I'm not going like this. Not doing that. Not doing that. I'm pushing my nostrils downwards with these muscles on the side. So the muscles I'm talking about are the tiny little muscles on the side of the nose. I call them levitator muscles. They've got a Latin name, probably about that long. Not good at Latin, I'm good at Australian, but not a Latin. But anyway, I just call them the levitator muscles. And these are the muscles that you need to be isolating and thinking about when you push your nostrils downwards. Also, the depressor septi muscle, right at the tip, bottom, right at the bottom of your nose. This muscle and those muscles on either side are the muscles that activate when you are doing this exercise. The other muscle that activates is the procerus, and a lot of people do sort of frown when they do this exercise. Again, you need to learn to focus, and the focus technique is right here. Go and watch that afterwards, okay? And that will help you learn to focus when other muscles are moving around your face. But we are concentrating on these two muscles on the side and the muscle underneath our nose. So without my fingers holding the muscles, I will show you how to do it. Okay, so you watch my nose, watch my mouth, and watch the way it's moving. So slightly it's moving up here, but mainly I'm pushing the nostrils downwards with the depressor septi muscle, and I'm using the levitator muscles alongside of my nose to help do that. Also, the nasalis is involved in this, and the nasalis is attached, these levitator muscles are attached to the nasalis, and that helps push it down also. So let's give it another go. All you need to do is practice. Really, at the end of the day, if you cannot get an exercise correct, just keep practicing it until you get it right. Now, if you're finding it difficult to do it and you think you're not doing it right, just don't push too hard with the muscle. Don't put too much muscle effort in it, because if you're not doing it correctly, then you might be just not doing it correctly. So just do the exercises lightly until you feel that you've got a handle on those exercises. Also, the other thing I want you to understand, that all of these updates, like the nose update and the forehead and the eye update, they're all the same exercises. They're just more tips to give you an idea of how to do the exercise easier. It doesn't change, it's not a different exercise, it's exactly the same exercise. That is in the Exercise Along With Me Series 1. So everybody, I hope that this update has helped you understand a little bit more on how to exercise your nose. I hope you understand why you can only do a full face routine, that you cannot do it on its own because it will become misshapen. And I hope that it brings you so much success with your facial exercises. Everybody, please remember to subscribe. So many people watch the nose exercise and they don't subscribe. So please do remember to subscribe to the channel, because it really helps you understand how to do the exercises better when I bring out all these updates. Also remember to like the video. That would really help. I love it when I see likes on my video. All right guys, you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Hello everyone. Today we're going to be discussing the lower jaw exercise in Exercise Along With Me Series 1. I do need to talk to you about some warnings before we do go into this exercise. But if you don't want to listen to the warnings, the timestamp, as normal, is in the description box below. Just click on that and it will jump to the exercise. But there are some warnings to do with this exercise because a lot of people do have jaw problems. It comes through, manifest in various ways, through TMG, or somebody might have had locked jaw, or there are problems that people do experience with the jaw. But what I want to talk to you about is if you have any known problems, if you know you've got a problem with your jaw, when you do this exercise, just do it very gently. Do it as if you may not even be able to feel it. Because common sense would tell you that if you have a problem with your jaw, even if you can see that it's off center a bit and you haven't had a problem before but it's off center a bit and you know it's off center a bit, common sense tells you that if you do this exercise with too much effort, you could have a problem with it. So please think about whether you have a problem with your jaw, whether you hear clicking in your jaw when you talk, or whether you have a known problem with your jaw. And if you do, I want you to do this exercise with extreme caution, if at all. If you do have TMJ, my suggestion is do not do the exercise. And unfortunately, if you do have TMJ, you may not be able to do my type of exercises. You might need to find a different program that might be able to address that a bit better for you. But certainly with my program, if you have TMJ and it starts to exacerbate, if you try this exercise, you will need to stop. So I've just given you the warning so that you are fully aware of this exercise, that it is a strong exercise and that you do need to exercise caution when you are doing it if you have jaw problems. So it is a very strong exercise. It does help you with lifting the jawline and removing jowls. And as with everything, it doesn't remove them perfectly, but when you do this routine, you will find that your jowls will start to lift a little. And it's a great routine, the whole routine is, but this exercise is a good exercise to help you with that. So the exercise is you are using your jaw and jutting it out at the same time as holding in with your fists along the masseter muscle for resistance. Here is a picture of the masseter muscle. So go to that picture and have a look and see where it is, and have a look and see where you need to visualize this muscle. It is responsible for chewing your food and it's responsible for opening and closing your jaw. So it is a very strong muscle, one of the strongest within our face. So let's give this a go. So we place our fists on the masseter muscle. So you can see how I'm placing them. Have a look and see on the side and do it with me. Place your fists on the masseter. Now you can see I'm not placing my fist back here. And I'm not placing my fist here. And I'm not placing my fist up here. I'm placing it right along the masseter. Have a look and see where my knuckles are in relation to my cheeks and my lips. And that's where you will place it. Then just sweep your little fingers and just hold back the skin. Don't stretch it back, just holding back the skin gently. So when you do that, you're pushing in quite firmly and then you jut your jaw outwards. So as you are jutting your jaw outwards, you are doing a bit of a scoop as you do it. I'll show you on the side. You might hear a little bit of vibration in your ears because the masseter muscle is attached up around this area. So you may hear a bit of vibration in your ears when you do it. As you do the exercise, as you jut your jaw outwards, go ahead and push in. Now don't push in really firmly, but just push in and isolate that masseter muscle because it's moving in and out as you're jutting your jaw outwards. You can see how along here, if you look along here, how that's working. As with the warnings, if you have a known problem with your jaw, common sense will tell you do not do the exercise. If you have if you hear a small clicking, if you hear clicking under here, that is your jaw clicking. If it's only clicking slightly, just do the exercise very gently. Don't push out with the muscle effort that I was using. If it's clicking a lot, stop the exercise. And as I mentioned in the warnings, you may need to find a different face exercise program that can help you with your facial exercises, because you won't be able to do this exercise. Because if you do it and you create damage, then you're in a whole world of pain. Also with this exercise, you are holding the skin back, okay? You're holding with your little finger back, and when you're jutting your jaw out, it should be all smooth along here. This exercise, you're not going like this, okay? You're not pushing inwards. This is not how you do the exercise. You gently pull it back. You can see the difference, can't you? Gently pull it back and gently bring your little fingers back comfortably and do the exercise. And you can see everything on my face is smoothing outwards. It's not pushing inwards. Very important that you understand the way the muscles are moving. This exercise, the energy is moving outwards. There's another important factor to this exercise, is that sometimes you feel it in your neck. So when you start feeling your neck muscles, it means that all your focus is sitting at the back of your neck. You need to bring all your focus back to the place that you are doing the exercise. Because if you're pushing too hard with the back of your neck, then you are strengthening that neck area too much, and you could cause some headaches, or, you know, it becomes uncomfortable. So the main thing is that if you are feeling the exercise, with any exercise, if you're feeling this in the back of your neck, you are not focusing correctly, and you need to bring your focus back to the spot that you are exercising. It's pretty clear. All your focus needs to sit where you are exercising. Then you won't have problems with your neck, and you won't even have any problems with anything with your neck if you do that. You won't even be thinking about your neck. So guys, give that a go. I'd like you to go back through the video again when you're finished. Have a look at all the instructions that I gave you, and that's one of the reasons why I've got the timestamp, so that when you need to go back after hearing all the warnings to the video, you can then just click on the timestamp and it will go straight to the exercise. But do please study the exercise, study what I say, and you will find that if you do what I say, that you will not run into the difficulties that you might run into when you're doing the exercises. You can't just skim through the video and go, oh, I've heard that, I don't want to hear that, I don't want to hear that. You have to really listen to what I'm saying. So remember to subscribe to the channel, because if you don't subscribe to the channel, you won't get the updates, and then again, you won't get things that give you ideas and tips on how to actually do the exercises correctly. Also, please like my video. I love it when you like my videos. It really helps. It makes me feel good. All right, guys. Well, you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the turkey neck exercise in Exercise Along With Me Series 1. I love this exercise, and this is one of the first exercises that I really started to understand the power of facial exercise, because it is a very effective exercise and a very strong exercise, and it works. Today with this exercise I'm going to show you how to do it, but first I would like to say I need to go back to the fundamentals of FACEROBICS face exercise and talk about focus. Because when you do this exercise, sometimes what happens is that you do get tension in the back of the neck. And you're getting tension in the back of the neck because you are using your neck muscles instead of the muscles in front of your neck. And that is why you are getting tension. Also, you are focusing all of your focus to the back of the neck. You are not bringing it to the front. When that happens, when you think, oh my God, I've got tension in the back of my neck, that says that you are not focusing in the correct manner. You are to focus on the muscles that you are exercising. And in this case, you need to bring all your focus to the front of your neck when you do it. You will not have success with this exercise if you continue to use your neck muscles, because you have to use the platysma muscles and the other associated muscles with this exercise to have success. So clearly, if you are exercising your neck and you are getting pain in your neck, it means that this is not going to be exercised. It's very important that you understand the focus process. If you don't focus on those muscles that you're exercising, they will not be exercised. So a lot of the times when people first start face aerobics, what they're doing is mimicking me. They just mimic what I'm doing. But after a time, when people start watching the videos, because you actually have to watch the videos to get the information, once people start watching the videos and getting the information, then they become much more aware of what they're doing when they're exercising. And this is the reason why I do the updates, to give you this understanding of them. The exercises are the same. It's just a more of an understanding, a deeper understanding on how to do them. So with this exercise, basically, you are exercising the platysma, and there's a lot of other associated muscles in here. So you're exercising these muscles. You're also exercising the muscle that comes down the side. And when you do that, when these muscles start moving and exercising, it actually brings your neck into a beautiful shape. Now, if you're a man doing this exercise, what it does is it straightens up your neck, because it's a little bit different. A female's neck to a man's neck is a little bit different. And remember when I said to you about facial exercises, it takes you back to the natural shape of your features. It doesn't change. You can't actually change your features, contrary to what people think and say. You cannot actually change your features on your face with facial exercise. You can only have them adapt back to what you looked like when you were younger. And isn't that fantastic? You don't want to go back to changing something. You want to go back to what you looked like when you were younger. So that's what this exercise does with the neck. For women, it brings your neck into this beautiful female shape. And for men, it makes the neck go up and down somewhat, because that's what a man's neck looks like. So when you're doing the exercise, the first thing you do is get used to moving your platysma, which is a big muscle that radiates across your shoulders from the top of your jaw. That's where it starts, and it radiates all the way over. So you need to get used to moving that first. So when you do that, you just start lifting the platysma. And basically what you're doing is you're squeezing the neck muscles together. So place your fingers on your collarbone, so that way you can feel the muscles from here moving. That's the action that you do when you do the exercise. The next thing you do is that you run your fingers. As you can see, I'm running my fingers up my neck, and the flats of my fingers, so this part of my fingers here, are sitting, gently holding up the skin. So you can see how it's pulling up the skin gently. It's not stretching it up, it's not out here, stretching it out this way. It's just, you're just running it up gently, and you're tucking it underneath your chin. So let's do that. So you do this rolling thing with your hands and fingers, and you can see how they're tucked up underneath and they're flat along my neck. And that's because when we do this action, it creates wrinkles, of course, because we're wrinkling it up. But when you're holding it up and holding it back, and that's all you're doing is holding it back, it stops the wrinkling. We do this, so we have our hands in that position that I just described. Now, gently just pull them out a little bit. Just pull your arms and your fists, just part them a little bit. They're still connected with the little fingers, but they're just parting a little bit. So what you're doing so far is you're bringing the excess skin up underneath your chin. So what's going to happen is the excess skin that is on your neck is going to bunch up in this area. It's going to bunch up. And a lot of people say to me, oh my God, I hate that. I just don't like doing that exercise because it bunches up. Well, of course it's going to bunch up because you're pulling up some excess skin. And believe me, mine bunches as well, so don't worry about it. When I first started the exercise, it bunched up, it looked horrible. But over time what happens is the neck starts to strengthen and the skin starts to tighten, and you don't have too much bunching anymore. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about how it looks. It doesn't matter how it looks when you're doing it. The next thing you do is you place your tongue to the top of the roof of your mouth, or you can place it to the bottom of your mouth. In, right down to the bottom, or right up to the top, doesn't matter. Then what you're doing is just moving your neck up and down as you squeeze your neck. Without the hands there, isolating the skin, this is what it looks like. Okay? So I'm not sort of moving my whole body over like this, doing it. I'm not putting my chin out when I'm doing it. Not doing any of this. Okay? It's quite simple. You just have to follow the video and follow the steps, because when you do that, then you'll get to do the exercise correctly. The idea is to watch the video until you get the correct steps. So when you're finished, go back and watch the video. You'll need to watch it a few times. This exercise will help the neck to become smooth. It will help the skin tighten, and it will give you definition underneath your jawline. So the other caveat with this exercise is that if you have really strong wrinkling, like if it's really loose here and it's very, very loose skin, wrinkled skin, you might not be able to get a perfect neck from that. Because remembering, the theory of the exercises are the muscle builds up and it stretches the skin over the muscle, and it gives an appearance of no wrinkles. So if you've got sagging skin and lots of sagging skin, it stands to reason that there's only so much that that muscle's going to build. It's not like your arm muscle or your leg muscles or your buttocks or those sorts of huge muscles that can build massively. Your face muscles and neck muscles do not build like that. They build subtly to the point where it stretches the skin over the muscle, and that gives that appearance of no wrinkles. So please do understand that if you have a really saggy neck, it might not work. But the other good thing about it is the muscles are building up underneath anyway, and you'll have this wonderful invigorated feeling of your muscles. So there is still a benefit to doing this exercise. It's a great exercise. And as I said, it was the one that when I really started understanding the power of facial exercises. So guys, remember to subscribe to me, because when you do that, you'll have the updates. And when you do hit that bell will give you a notification of when I've uploaded a video, and that way you can just go and watch it. When you've got time, you know it's been uploaded, and it's more convenient for you to know that there is an update or a new video coming. Also remember to like my videos. I love it when you like my videos, so please do remember to do that. Alright guys, thanks for listening. You have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye.